Welcome to the Learning and Development Channel, where you can learn, lead, and make a difference.
Good morning, everyone. I am your learning facilitator for the topic, Quarter 1 Curriculum Standards, Unpacking of Learning Competencies in Science Grade 4 and Grade 7. For this session, you are expected to: Number 1, identify the Quarter 1 curriculum standards. Number 2, discuss the nature, process, and importance of unpacking clustering the learning competencies. And number 3, unpack cluster learning competencies.
We'll be having activity number 1 with the title, Take Me to Where I Should Be. Okay, you will be given strips of paper, and those strips of paper contains different texts. And these texts could either be a content standards, and learning competencies. No, you are not to open any competencies that you have with you. Wag po muna. So, before ibigay ang ating mga materialis fuertes, at before ninyo i-open ang materialis fuertes, again, no, do not open yet your matatag science competencies or curriculum guide, sorry. Okay, so in this activity, what you're going to do is to match. But first, before matching, is to identify which of those strips is the content standards, and the learning competencies. In other words, you simply match whatever that paper strip of yours, would it be matching under the content standards, or under the learning competencies. Now, you're going to make use of your Manila paper, so just label or make a table just like this one. Kahit wala ng mga underline. One column for the content, another column for the content standards, and another column for the learning competencies. Now, class, or if you have a copy, pwede na. Let's have first grade 4. So again, in the curriculum guide, it would look like this. Okay. Again, in the curriculum guide, it would look like this. So there are 3 content for quarter 1 of your science, grade 4, and we have the following, and we have the content standards. Okay? So kung rin sabi ni Sir Abel, ang halipot. Okay. Notice also the arrangement, number 1, to number 1, number 2, number 2, and number 3, number 3. However, this one could also be interrelated with 1 and 2. Okay? Now, let's take a look at the competencies. Hindi na natin ang full. Okay. So take note also what Sir Abel have said with regards to the competency. Okay. Science inventions have brought about major changes in our daily lives, and related now to our competencies, like for example, use of information from secondary sources, blah blah blah, about scientists and their inventions. So, kalinya. Next is the impact on everyday life. Inya. Number 1. Okay. Next, chemical properties and so on. With number 2. Number 3 to number 2. Next, describe changes, properties of material. Number 2. Demonstrate waste, harmful materials. Number 2. Pero this time, pwede na niya sumunod liwat environmental issues, considering that we have the burning of waste materials. Next, issues and concerns in the local, such as treatment of waste. Number 3, applying process skills and attitudes in environmental issues. Number 3. How about in terms of grade 7? For grade 7, ay mas idaran na. Because of the higher level of the learners, we now have more compared to that of grade 4. We have 4 contents, and then we have 5 content standards. In this case, scientists use models. For the first, the particle model is aligned with second. Diagrams and flowchart explaining the motion and arrangement of particles during changes of state. Pwede dito sa number 2 pa rin. Next, processes for planning up to recording. Number 3. And solution solubility and so on. Number 4. How about the competencies? Okay. For the first competency, what content standard number is that? Okay. Number 2? Number 2. The number 3? Still number 2. Number 4? It's number 3. Number 5?
3.
Number 3. Next?
Number 4.
Okay. Next?
4.
Next?
Number 5.
5. Okay. So take note of those things. So in this case now, let's ask ourselves, first up, how do you find the activity? On the parlance of school leaders, in terms of identifying which is the content standards and learning competencies, as well as in aligning these 3, how then would you find the activity? What can you say about this activity? From identification to matching to alignment. Do you think this is necessary for us, administrators, school leaders?
Yes, sir.
Why? Oh, sir, ano sabi niyo? Especially in giving technical assistance. Particularly kung saan lang tayo ng competency. Okay. How about for the teachers? So malalaman niyo yan once you have the master training. Itatanong niyo yan sa mga teachers. But in our case, for technical assistance purposes, as school leaders, we need to determine which of which is under a particular area or focus. And the alignment of such. Para hindi rin tayo na nililito. Now, are there similarities and differences with your answer? It was already answered a while ago. This one, okay na, and so on. Okay. Question 3. Do all content standards, the second column, and the contents, first column, are represented in the learning competencies, third column?
Yes.
So we need to say, dapat lahat ng natin dyan ay corresponding part with the other. Okay? From content to content standards to competencies. I-recall natin ang sinabi ni Sir Abel. What are your bases for classifying the cutout words as contents, content standards, and learning competencies? Content, short. Part of speech, it's more of a noun. Next, how about the content standards? O na sentence. Hindi na lang siya phrase. Each of size and length. And may short description siya about the concept itself. Okay? It gives us a discussion, a very brief discussion of the concept, of the lesson itself. While the competencies, anong sabi ulit ni Sir Abel? It starts with a verb. Usually start with a verb. Because competency-wise, competency talks about or aligned with the abilities, okay, of our learner. So in this case, it translates what the learners would be doing, would be having, would be achieving, would be applying in such manner they are now the learning competencies. Okay? Next question. Are all contents represented in the content standards?
Yes.
Yes. Is there any content standard that represents more than one content? Yes. So the cross-cutting concept could also be within the given quarter, within the given domain. Does all the content have representative learning competencies?
Yes.
Definitely. Okay? So, mahirarayot kita ko naman. How do the content standards and competencies differ from one another? Aside from the words. So, by definition naman tayo. Sige, by definition, I have shown to you this morning, in the slide, of the curriculum guide. Diba? Tatlo kanina, ang phase. If we would recall, how then are we going to differentiate these three? Okay, areas of focus, content standards, conceptual level. Okay, and the learning competency.
The specific aspects of content for learners to achieve.
Okay, the specific aspect for the learners to achieve. Kaya nga mga pang-verb na yan, pang-skill na niya. Kaya nga focus. So note that for the content, these are the key areas which are the focus of a certain quarter. Usually we associate it with topics. Diba? Content is the topics. And then further niya may subtopics. Kumbaga, iya ang chapter title. Okay? So now, for every content, there is a corresponding content standards. And as mentioned a while ago by Sir Edgar, it's on a conceptual level that is expected for the learners to achieve. It supports the teachers to identify the level of science, knowledge, skills, and attitudes as well as values that need to be taught. Kumbaga, from the big ideas kanina, it was chucked further into the content standards. Again, what needs to be taught and what needs to be learned by our learners. Concept per se. Next, the learning competencies on the other hand are the specific aspects of these contents for the learners to achieve. And usually translated, aligned with the skills, the values, and attitudes to the given content or the concept that we have. So, kanina aga, we have, diba, encircled and underlined something. So, aligned from that one, every particular learning competencies has that circle and has that underline. Okay. And usually the circles, again, as we have mentioned a while ago, are the specific skills which are stated in a verb-like manner, while within the competencies are the topics, the content, the concept, which are stated in noun form. So parang combination na niya. Okay? That's why for all the learning competencies, it's aligned to a certain content standard, which is also aligned to a certain content. On the other hand, at the bottom portion of our curriculum guide, we have one performance standard. For example, the performance standards would provide our teachers a way to assess them, a way to judge our learners' achievement at the end of each quarter. And we take note that the performance standards supports our teachers to assess the level of of the knowledge, skills, and values that the learners would be demonstrating in relation to both the content and the competencies. This is the performance standards. With the performance standards, we have the suggested performance tasks, which are just sample, okay? Sample of tasks that the learner can do at the end or even during, but usually it's at the end of the quarter for such performance standard to be measured. So these are again the different components within the curriculum guide. Questions? There is a question, Ma'am Hazel.
For the performance task, is there a limit as to the number of tasks, or ito teacher may ba niya freedom to give as many performance tasks as possible?
Okay, thank you. So let me have again the question na kung ilan lahat ang performance tasks that we can give to our learners. So it would depend now. Okay, it would depend on the context or the situation of our class. If, for example, we have a lot of resources and then the teacher easily gives such resources to our learners, then several performance tasks will be done. However, this is the case. We are also pushing for what we call as an integrative assessment, wherein we combine several learning areas performance tasks to have only one performance task or output for our learners. One performance task that will be able to meet the demands of several learning areas. Pwedeng isa lang para hindi rin mahirapan si bata. Okay? Usually, in order for us to help our learners, we usually have one performance task. Parang ganito, we need not taste the whole chocolate bar to know if it's yummy or not. We can just get a chunk of it. Okay? Now, if for example, balik tayo sa grade 7. If for example here, the investigation to determine salt in a sample water is only one which is focused on solutions and solubility. You might say the performance task does not necessarily answer whether or not the learner was able to meet all of these contents. And we are expecting that the learners need to achieve all these. Again, the performance task that we have is just one of the ways in which we will be able to assess or evaluate our learners. There are still other aspects. May pangitang word. Pero, if for example naman, kaya, then all of these performance standards, including the particle model, including role of solute solvent, and many others, pwede pag-sobra ka ng performance task. Pwede more than one. Sir Joy.
Doctor, clarification, we're talking about the major performance tasks in a quarter. Kasi evaluating our learners, I don't know if that's correct. Aside from the written work, we also need to have an evaluation of performance tasks. And the minimum number of that for a quarter is 4. So the wavelength that we are talking here is the major performance task in a quarter. So it's not really related to the number of performance tasks which is to be included in rating our learners for the quarter. Ang sagrado lang. Tama? Pero it's still part performance.
Oo. Kaya nga, and for example, ang minimum number, we still follow that one. Kumpara ang minimum number of written words, why man? Kumpara naman ang minimum number of performance tasks. But usually, for every particular content now that we have, let's not focus on content, but we focus on performance standards. For every certain performance standards that we have, if there is a certain performance standard that we'll be able to meet, then well and good. Pero kung di kaya, ay tara magpilitan. Okay, pero, much better if a certain performance standards, kaya nag-i-agree pa man kada sentence, di ba? Nag-i-agree pa man performance standards. Much better if you have one performance task for each. This one is just one suggested performance task. But on the question how many, we still follow the number of minimum. Pero kung di naman kaya, then let's have one performance task that will be able to meet several. Okay? Yes po.
That's why there's only a suggested performance task, but there is no number as to how many performance tasks. Kasi, according to the discussion of Sir Roy, as you look at the performance task, it directly addressed only one of the contents of the four.
But even only one performance standard.
Yes. So meaning, we can add another 3 to also address the other remaining contents na tulong. No? Ada nga tanan.
Kung kaya, let's say for example, if you can have a performance, one performance task that will be able to meet all of these within the performance standards, well and good. Ma'am.
Well, parang clarification. There's only one standard. So I think this is the only one that we should measure in terms of performance. It's just that there are suggested performance tasks because we can assess this in many varied ways. Especially speaking of authentic assessment. So this is, I think, where we put into consideration the context of the learners. So for me lang, there should only be one performance task per quarter as per the requirements in the curriculum.
Pwede ba? Again, going back to the context. Pero yung point natin now is, for example, hiningihan. From the investigation, then the sample water, it only meets this standard, on science investigation, and on solute solvent. So the next question is, how then are we going to determine the learner's achievement for motion as well as for the use of models? Okay, so in this case, ganito. Pwede, as mentioned by Ma'am Al, pwede isang performance task, this one, which now meets the 2 ideas in the performance standards. Then we can have another assessment, pwede by the written work, which also means the other performance standard. But ang importante nila, with one performance standards and several ideas within the performance standards, we will be able to assess our learners with it. It being written work or performance task. So, balik kita main question kanina ni Ma'am Hazel, how many performance tasks? It could be from 1 up to many. Kung gusto niyo tapos sa performance task, kaya palipaka, kaya ng teachers, o kaya ng oras. Basta importante, may performance task. Nagkukuha natin. Ito, duduhan natin may data, written works, performance task, ngayon, quarterly assessment. Okay? So if it's a historic kung kaya, ano kasi mag-laro? Pero here's the thing you can have one or more performance tasks. Then assess the others within the performance standard. Pero kung sa performance standard for the whole quarter, which are just simply chunks of several ideas that are then translated to our content. Ma'am, kanina lang.
Sir, may query is not required kasi
I will just handle inquiry, sir, regarding the learning competency. When the management curriculum, what will be the references if the Merit-based pa tayo, pares ba lang Thank you, sir.
It's not anymore the melts, but we now have this one as the competencies. Okay, hindi na tayo melts-based, but matatag competencies na tayo. Sir. Sir, I need to recognize that in our previous trainings, we emphasized integrative assessment, in which all the subjects, all the learning area teachers will come up with a single assessment for the particular part that so there should only be one assessment which is integrative of more than two sections, whichever is applicable. So it seems that in the medical curriculum it moves our so hindi na pwede magamit ko integrative siya. Ang tanong ni Sir is we are having the integrative assessment. Now, ang question daw, dito sa patatag curriculum, are we not anymore going to have integrative? Kasi meron ng performance task na suggested. The answer is, we are still then with the integrative assessment. But it's not for all learning areas, but only for what is applicable. What if, for example, for English or in Filipino, there's about a communication. So, why not communicate the results of that investigation that you have had in science? So, in that manner, you now have the language of learning areas as well as the science. What if may algebra, so what if sa math, nagkakaroon na talking about the data of the sample say water is aligned with the computation that they are having now, or even the graph, the figures, and so on. Pwede isa lang. That's how integrative assessment would come in, and how collaboration of the teachers would come in. Okay. Unpointingly, by the hapon, you still have the performance task, and such performance tasks. Hindi na burden si learner kasi isa na lang and it would mean several learning areas. Okay? So, balik tayo. First question, how many? Walang sinasabi kung how many performance tasks will be done as long as we assess the different performance standard and as much as possible on the context both the learners and the teachers, then we can explore integrative assessment, a performance task that would need several learning areas. And another question.
Medyo nalito lang po ako, pero willing to concept na kahit malapit na itong 5 minutes per next years. So, itong una yung take-out picture sa meron po tayo, lahat ng content. Lahat ng content po, may content standard, i-clear po natin doon sa performance standard. Tapos, competencies. Ayun po, ang tatlong ito ay hindi non-negotiable po yun sa individual or sa merit. Ibig sabihin, ang teacher dapat po i-take note na dapat gawin non-negotiable ang content and performance standard. Kasi yun po ang pamantayan sa kanyang ituturo sa mga bata. Ayun po, pag sinabi po natin ito na mayroon po tayong minimum na 1 and wala pong limit basta depende sa resources, so naiiba po ito. And there will be so many questions about this one. Especially po, for example, ako po, elementary, at na-import po ako doon sa high school at hindi ko alam yung ganito, paano po explain. At yung presentation itself, doon sa content standards and performance standards, medyo naiiba po ito. So, ngayon po, tinitignan po yung performance standards, madami siya, din suggested performance task. Paano po? Medyo shady po ako doon Kasi parang division trader po kami. Parami, so, basta iwan ko lang po, ganun po yung pagkaintindi ko. Na dapat, kasi iniisip ko, pareho pa rin doon sa K-12. Na dapat kung that standard, i-compare doon sa performance. Na dapat itong performance ay gagawin ng bata at the end sa lesson. Kung mayroon pong nakasulat doon sa curriculum ng performance standard.
Okay, balik tayo sa DOA, sa assessment. Okay, balik tayo doon. From that particular DOA, how many performance tasks per quarter? 4. What we're saying kanina na kahit isa lang performance task, as long as it would meet several performance within the performance standard that you have. So you still have to meet and to implement what is in the DOA. Because in the Matatag, it still follows the DOA for the assessment. Okay? Ang tinatanong kanina is in terms of the performance task, kung isa lang ba? Again, pwedeng isa lang, provided that you have meet the performance standard. Parang naglalako na tayo ng statement. Sige, pwede isa lang performance task. Okay? To meet a certain content, a certain performance standard. However, because of the fact that we need to have 4 performance tasks, you could have one main task that will be, pero na point na siya i-bypass na siya, subdivided accordingly by task. Parang nagsusub-task ka that would now meet the minimum requirements na 4. Kung yung pa yun. Pero parang isang task na lang ang gagawin ni learner, but it's subdivided into several tasks. Okay.
Tama na po, sir. So ngayon po, parang na-figure na po. Yung performance standard talagang it is non-negotiable. Out of that performance standard, dalawa ng 1 o hanggang ilan na gusto mong suggested performance task. Parang ganun, sir.
Pero ang ating point din, ang katapag din mo, performance task. Pero, it will be, parang ganun na rin, it will be several tasks, which are actually the 4 tasks. If for example, kaya mo yung 4 tasks na yun, because it's the end of the quarter, for example, kung kaya mo ma-merge silang 4 na nagsusub-tasking na tayo, then well, good. But if the teacher, or the context of the teacher, gusto niya isa-isahin, okay din yan. Okay? Now, say, for example, after 2 weeks, nag-performance task siya. Usually yan naman. Then another 2 weeks, nag-performance task. Another 2 weeks, nag-performance task. Another 2 weeks, nag-performance task. But what if in the context, hindi siya kaya ng every 2 weeks, mag-performance task? So what if kaya siya, after 2 months, isang performance task lang, but that task is subdivided accordingly by performance standards of these 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, much better kung kaya. Okay? So again, it will go back to the context of our learner, of our teachers, as well as that of the learners. Okay? Kaya din, wala na tayong codes. Notice, wala na tayong codes because the codes, di ba? Current curriculum, the codes will also give you kung anong week siya pwede. Ilang days or ilang weeks siya pwede. In this case now, wala siyang codes because, again, we go back with the context in the school na pwedeng fast learners ang mga bata, pwedeng 1 to 2 days lang yung isang competency, pwede rin naman isang month ang isang competency, basta as long as all of these competencies will be meet for that quarter. Okay? So, ganun po ang naging natin ngayon. Why? We do not have anymore suggested number of days or hours for each of these competencies. Pero off the record, di ba? In reality, sa lumabas, hindi ba natin ako focus? Pero, as much as possible, all of these competencies, at sabi mo na nga, non-negotiable, then all of these competencies must be met, must be achieved. Okay? Third lang. Klarado na? Okay? So, ako na ito ang aming health break na 15 minutes. Kumana natin na health break. Okay? What we will be having now is another activity, and this time around is the unpacking of competencies. Notice, with our competencies on board, what we have are somewhat broad pa, in a sense. And it's important for our teachers, and for us also, of course, school leaders, for technical assistance purposes, to unpack or to himay-himay further these different learning competencies. So in this case now, we will be focusing on the following competency for grade 4 and for grade 7. For this activity, grade 4, your focus competency, again for this activity only, is to demonstrate ways to minimize harmful changes in materials such as destruction of burning waste materials and care in handling reactive materials. While for grade 7, demonstrate proper use and handling of science equipment. Grade 7 and then grade 4. Okay? And this is what we will be doing. You are going to unpack the competency into objectives. And your objectives, balik tayo, should be SMART. Now, you're going to write your answers on the paper, on the worksheets. So instead of the meta cards, you're going to write it on the worksheets muna. Then later na tayo sa meta cards. Okay. So this is what we will be doing. Individually, you're going to come up with the unpacked competencies through the SMART objectives aligned to the revised Bloom's taxonomy. So identify an objective to any of these cognitive levels. If you lang kaya. So let's say for example, if you will be having 2 only, dalawa lang. If you will be having 3, kung kaya mo 3, 4, 5, why not? Koko na. Okay? So again, for grade 4, your focus competency is demonstrate ways to minimize harmful changes in materials, while for grade 7, demonstrate proper use and handling of science equipment. So for grades 4 and 7, we have the same template for our worksheet. And first copy your competency and focus. Then from there, you're going to write the learning objectives to a particular level under Bloom's taxonomy. So creating, evaluating, analyzing, applying, understanding, remembering. Okay na? So the same for grade 7, creating, evaluating, analyzing, applying, understanding, and remembering. Sir, pwede, kung sa mga objective, doon ang objective mo sa lang na cognitive level. When we have 2 objectives, yet it's under 1 level only. If it's how you unpack, then pwede. We still have about 15 seconds more left for our individual work. After 15 minutes, we will be giving another time, 5 minutes, to discuss your groups. Okay na 4 minutes? Okay na? Okay na? Sige. Our individual work time is up. Now, we will be having the group time. So we will be having 5 minutes for your group discussion and then come up with one output to be written on the Manila paper. Have the the objectives written at the corresponding level under Bloom's taxonomy. Okay? So write on the Manila paper the objectives. Only one set of the objectives and the corresponding cognitive level from the Bloom's taxonomy. So we will now have the group presentation. So for the group presentation, all we have to do is read aloud the learning objectives and the corresponding cognitive level. Okay, sige. Tapos na. Let's now have grade 4B. Okay, tapos naman ang grade 4A, grade 4B to present the output with the...
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, for group 4B, here is our output. We will start from the lowest level of taxonomy. For our specific learning objectives, name recyclable products or waste materials made of wood, metal, plastics, and paper. That's for remembering. For understanding a specific learning objective, describe the changes that burning materials undergo. For applying a specific learning objective, demonstrate ways to minimize harmful changes of burning waste materials. For analyzing, examine the harmful materials exhibited or released by burnt and active materials. For evaluating, check the components of a plastic bottle and read its effects to the environment. And lastly, for creating, construct a recycled product out of waste materials commonly found at home.
Okay, congratulations, grade 4B. Next, grade 4C, your representative. And I think we can make use of this microphone pa rin, pero dito lang.
The group C was able to come up with 4 specific learning objectives from the content standard of materials and their uses. Based on the Bloom's taxonomy, the level of Bloom's taxonomy of learning objectives, first we have identifying the materials that are useful or harmful to the environment, that is remembering level. Then the next is demonstrate ways of identifying waste materials that are harmful to the environment. Then after demonstrating ways, we were able, next objective is to develop ways on how to handle harmful materials in the applying level. And then the next is examine the effect of burning the harmful materials to the environment for the analyzing. Wala na po kami, sir, habang nag-separate.
If given a chance, you can still have the creating. Okay. Thank you very much. Another round of applause for the group. It's up grade 7. Grade 7, ano to? B or C? Mauna. C. Okay, grade 7C.
So this is for our group. This was reporter after a grueling discussion. Learning competency, demonstrate proper use and handling of science equipment. For our specific learning objective, list or identify the different science equipment, use appropriate science equipment in performing activity, and appreciate the importance of proper use and handling of science equipment. And for the first objective, the Bloom's cognitive level is remembering. For the second one, on the utilization, is it's applying. And for the appreciation, on the importance of proper use, it's on understanding.
Okay, thank you. Let's have another round of applause for Group 7C. Now, let's have, yun na. 7B.
Based on revised Bloom's taxonomy, so we have here, for remembering, our competency, by the way, is demonstrate proper use and handling of science equipment. So, under remembering, we have this particular specific learning objective, which is identify the names and purposes of various science equipment used in experiments related to solutions, solubility, and concentration. Then, for understanding, we have describe the proper procedure for preparing solutions of different concentration. Then, applying, demonstrate the correct use of laboratory equipment such as glasswares, stirrers, and balances when preparing solutions. Then, for analyzing, analyze experimental data related to the solubility of different substances in various solvents. Then, for number 5, evaluating, we have assessed the quality of a given solution in terms of its concentration compared to a specific standard. Then, we have developed a procedure for preparing a series of standard solutions with varying concentrations for use in laboratory experiments.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, 7B. Another round of applause for the whole group, for the whole class output. And that's why you deserve a round of applause. Let's have first a 15-minute uninterrupted break. After 15 minutes, we go directly with the processing of your outputs. And now, we go back with our discussion, and we have just had the presentation of the unpacked learning competencies assigned to the 2 grade levels. Now, let me ask now the following question to each of the groups. As we've had the individual unpacking and the group unpacking of your competencies, how then what can you say about the activity, and how do you find this activity? Is it easy to unpack the learning competency as a participant, as school leader? Challenging. What else? What? Refreshing. So, dapat nagkakapag kayo pag-unpack. I would also be refreshed. What else? Mind-blowing. I love blowing the mind of people. Any other?
Satisfying.
Satisfying. Stressful. Oh, imagine. Stressful. What particular part in the unpacking na naka-stress? Taxonomy. The level of taxonomy. So that's why others would be opening the Google and searching for the keywords. Okay, mga keywords, the verbs that are aligned to each of the cognitive levels that we have. And this is case for the teachers. And I think you would also agree with me if you say that whatever you were able to feel, to think of this particular unpacking activity, it's the same thing as that of the teachers. Might be some would be challenged with the unpacking, some would be refreshed, some would find it stressful, and many others. Okay. So in this case now, do you think we expect learners to master broad learning competencies in the curriculum by without unpacking them? Why? Microphone. Microphone, please. A volunteer. At dahil bang ikaw nang mahawak ng microphone, Please answer the question. Host.
Okay, good afternoon. Do we expect learners to master broad learning competencies in the CG without unpacking them? Why? I think it's not possible for a learner to master if the learning competencies is broad, and it's also difficult for the teacher to manage, especially the task or the time on task given to the teacher. It would be difficult for it to carry within the allotted time for that specific learning competency. So it's necessary to unpack the competency so that it will be, siguro, the learner will understand from the basic going to the complex part of that particular learning competency.
Okay. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Alam mo naman, let's say for example, for grade 7, ang competency natin is to demonstrate proper use and handling of science equipment for the content solution solubility. Okay, class, your task for today is to demonstrate the use of these equipments, and we have not yet discussed about solutions. Edgar, demonstrate please. So it's not. So we need to further unpack that in such manner that there is a smooth transition from a lower level cognition up to a higher one. Pero kung gusto niyo mag-start ng kuan, ang higher, going to the lower, it would be a challenge for you. Okay? Pero, pwede rin naman, pose in a problem-based, inquiry-based approach, that's a big problem. But, however, we still go back with the basics before we can answer the big problem. Okay. Now, how about this question? So, si Ma'am na ngayon, Ma'am Antoinette, will now give the microphone to the person who would be reading and answering this third question. Person, Ma'am. Why ma-volunteer? Okay, volunteer someone, Ma'am.
Any volunteer po, bakit niyan abangan ako
Ako lang yan.
sige, hindi na po ako answer.
Dili, sir. Sir, what's your name again, sir?
Big Pia po, from ASIC. Actually, I tried to look with Ma'am. One hour lang ako sa kasi nagpwetong But true to my expectation, you have chosen you. Thank you very much for choosing me, Ma'am. Although I am just getting inside from the CR. But then the question is, what are the consequences when we teach and assess without unpacking the competencies? Just like the workshop that we had a while ago, that we had our unpacking of the competencies. When we do some teaching and assessment without unpacking, then it will be, there might be some instances of no alignment of the competencies. And that's why it turns out to be ineffective or less effective in its result.
Okay. So one of the consequences is having an ineffective way of learning. Any other consequences that you can cite? Sir, pass the microphone to another person for another idea in terms of the consequences. Magsabi kapag apilo nga na.
I think there will be a problem in the alignment of learning competencies into assessment if we not unpack the learning competencies.
Okay. So also we'll be having a challenge in terms of aligning from the competency to the needed assessment at the end, or even during, for formative assessment, or even during the session or the discussion, if we will not be able to unpack things, kung diretso lang kita and probe the competency, then you will be having a hard time. Alignment-wise, all things. Okay. What about this? In lesson planning as well as in the delivery or the teaching and learning process, what is the relevance of unpacking the learning competencies. Kung kanina negative, yan naman, positively statement. Okay? Ma'am Rhea, ay, parang nakakulit sunod.
There will be a result-oriented, following the SMART, with the unpacking of learning competencies.
Okay, results-oriented. Next.
Effective delivery of the lesson and improved performance of the learners.
Okay, improved performance of the learners. And we will be able to improve the performance of the learners if they were able to gain or attain or make or achieve, kalamit yung mga terms, the learning competencies or the skills that they need to master. Okay, so those are the things that are needed in the unpacking part. Now, how well you can make sure that the unpacked competencies are relevant to attaining the broad learning competencies in the curriculum guide? Ano daw? For D, any representative. Shall we translate in Filipino? How will you make sure that the unpacked competencies are relevant in attaining the broad learning competencies in the curriculum guide?
Okay, in attaining the broad learning competencies so that it will make sure that it will be relevant, we will use the Bloom's taxonomy, the specific objective, so that the object or the learning competency will be achieved.
Okay, very good.
As per the time allotment and according to the ability of the learners.
Okay, very good. Madami yun, ha? Una, we base it, of course, for us to have a more relevant unpacked competency, it should be within those taxonomy level or cognitive level. And of course, with the HAS and the solo level that we have, from unistructural up to relational or level of extended abstract, just like in the principal's test. The solo model, okay, that's the first thing. Okay, for a certain unpacked competency should have a corresponding level, in the cognitive level or in the solo level. Okay, another. It would also depend on the context now. The context of the time allotment. Okay, there are times that some schools have 1 hour, some schools would have 1 hour per day, tapos 4 days a week. Some would be having 50 minutes per day, pero 5 days in a week. So ganito, depending upon the time allotment. And of course, depending upon your learners. Okay? Pero, depende liwat na teacher. Diba? There are teachers that have technical know-hows already, and there are teachers that needs further technical assistance. Okay? So, those are the considerations in which we will be looking into in such manner that the unpacked materials or unpacked competencies would become more relevant. Now, in the unpacking, we follow the following steps. On your sheets, on the other side of it, if you still have with you your sheets, and you have not yet submitted it, kaya wala pa kung papasubmit. You have the following steps in unpacking. If we would just focus ourselves with the specific objectives, it's 1, 2, and 3. Okay? First step is to revisit the content and the performance standards in the curriculum guide. The second is to examine the learning competency to be unpacked. Una pa lang is in terms of whether or not such competency is really aligned, pero aligned naman talaga ito niya, is really aligned to the performance standards and the content that we have. Another thing is to take note whether such competency is a first competency or such competency needs a prerequisite competency. Hindi pala kita 1 and 2 ha. Kasi nga, kung starting competency okay lang, then our sub-objectives would really be minimal. We start with the first step, second step, and so on. However, if such learning competency is already in the higher part, continuous build-up competency, needing prerequisite competency, there are times that we need first to identify the context again of the learners, whether or not we need to review this, and in such manner that one of our objectives would be to review these learning competencies na prerequisite. Kung hindi man, no need na, then what happens next is, in the unpacking, we directly move on to that particular content, leading to the performance standards. Number 3, let's take a look at your learning competency, whether or not it falls under competency tahanari objective. If such competency is analyzing, evaluating, and creating. If it falls on this higher 3, then there is really a need to break down the learning competency into smaller or discrete sub-skills. However, if for example, parang pang-remembering lang, parang pang-understanding lang, no need na. Okay? Pero usually, mahirap na tayo makakita ngayon nito because pinistadihan man ang competency. Usually, these competencies that we will see now is higher one. Analyzing to creating. Okay? Now, if you would have, for example, that of this one, another competency. Describe the chemical properties of materials such as they can be burned, react with other materials, undegradable, biodegradable. From the word pala, describe chemical properties, parang pang-ano man lang yan, diba? Lower level. So next question. On the context of your learners, do you think we still need to unpack that? Again, the competency is describing the chemical properties of materials. Pwede ba or hindi na? Okay. Balik ulit tayo dito. Have you already, was there a certain time below a grade level, grade 4, grade 3, was there a discussion on the properties, chemical properties of materials? Kung meron, nag-identify na sila ng mga chemical properties of materials, what are the different properties, chemical properties of material, then we need not anymore have an objective na identify chemical properties. Okay? Oo. Kalma lang. That's why we need to look again at the competencies of grade 3. Pero however, what if starting pa lang sa na competency itong describe chemical properties, okay?
Dili na ang blogs, kundi ang nag-solo. Although may nagkatira similarity, pero since nag-solo model naman, pwede ba hindi ang mas nag-implemented?
Okay, thank you. Sir Abel.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have a little bit of confusion about the unpacking since, based from my understanding, when we unpack the competencies, we need to say that competency is broad 1, and it is not
easy for this learner to achieve that. And therefore, if it is broad and the topic or the competency is difficult, therefore, our task is to make it easier. So therefore, we have to make it smaller. So therefore, we're talking about the competency. Our group actually discussed that for example, our competency is demonstrating. So therefore, before the student, that's the peak, no? That's the peak. That our main job for the teacher is to let our students to demonstrate. So therefore, before the student can demonstrate, therefore, he or she must identify first, describe. So we have to go back, to go down. But in the delivery of our lesson, here comes the solo model that we can actually integrate. We should not only limit the demonstration if we are thinking that our student can still develop the solo model and go beyond the extent. So, but talking about it in unpacking we have to limit to the demonstrating because I have a confusion because other groups are actually answering that we have to play math and our our main objective is to have to limit is that the main target. So,
We're still in a dilemma. Yeah. Okay, sige. Thank you.
And in that number 2, it's very clear that we have to make it simpler, smaller, so that we can achieve that main target of demonstrating, for example. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, sir. And before I answer the hinaing of Sir John and the question of Ma'am Hazel, and to pave way to the discussion or the idea of Sir Abel, I would like to finish first this one. Okay. Now, again, once you now are able to unpack your competency, this time around, you will now be able to align the instruction based on the objectives as well as that of your assessment. And also design instructional pedagogies that allow demonstration of mastery of some skills or components. And these two here will be tackled on the next day's session to come. Okay. So dito lang muna tayo sa 1, 2, 3.
In part 2 of this video, we will walk through the steps in unpacking learning competencies in science. See you on part 2.
Like and subscribe to the L&D channel on YouTube using the link youtube.com/@learn2lead channel. For more information, visit our NAIAP Region 8 official Facebook page at facebook.com/NAIAPR08.